Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
My name is Terrell Curry. I am the IT manager for THQ headquarters. We're, African American descent, born and raised in America, USA.
Okay.
We're from the South.
My name is Risa Berry. I'm a second generation Chinese American. I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and my mom was born and raised in Beijing, China.
I'm Alice Gray Munoz. I work as a Spanish translator for the Translation Bureau, which is part of the Mission Engagement Department. Wow, that was a mouthful. I'm from Colombia, a wonderful country in South America. The weather is very warm. The people are very festive. There's always food on the table and family around.
Food is an anchor in Chinese culture. I have transferred that onto my own family traditions. Mealtime's really important. We're building a foundation for eventually. I'd love to cook more traditional Chinese meals for my girls. Chow mein, jiaozi, and baozi nai. We have the little fan ones and then the little pork buns. There was a time in my life when I was a little embarrassed. Kids would pick on me for my school lunches or that I looked a little different, and I didn't realize until later in life that I am different, and I thought that that was a negative thing.
You would say chitlins, people were like, what is that? I'm like, it's a part of a pig. It's real tender. You gotta boil it, you gotta let it sit, you gotta clean it, you gotta do it. They're like, Dad, all of that just to have a meal? I said, yeah, but if it's done in love, you will love it. So when you start getting like, you look at the facial expressions, you're like, okay, I'll just keep that in the back pocket. I guess I won't share that too much.
When I was little, when I lived in Colombia, we used to do something called paseo de olla, which is you grab like a large pot and you gather all your friends and family and you head to the river. And then you cook the typical soup, which is sancocho, which is chicken and potatoes and cilantro, tomatoes, cassava, all these ingredients. And you just spend the day at the river eating sancocho with all your family.
My dad is a free-spirited man. He used to be in this fun rock band in his early 20s. And it's a cute story of how they met. He used to gig nearby this Chinese restaurant, and when my mom moved here, she started waiting tables at this little Chinese restaurant nearby, and it just happened that it was my father's favorite. So he hadn't been back for a few months, and then he finally came back, and he said it was just fireworks as soon as he saw her.
My grandmother, she was like the patriarch of the family. We always talked, as whether she had a story to tell or whether she wanted to share something, an experience that she went through. And regardless of how many lived in the house, she was able to resolve 15 people living maybe in a 3-bedroom house. She was able to resolve it. She made people comfortable. People would eat in the kitchen, people would eat in the back porch, so we found ways to make it work when family, friends, neighbors would come over. My role and position as the IT manager in THQ is that I create relationships with my people. So I try to create that atmosphere that I have an open door policy and communication is our success.
Both my parents were really hard workers, and they worked really hard for what they had. And part of that is the discipline that my mom brought from her upbringing in China. Seeing that example of getting the work done first has filtered into my life time and time again. It's helped me set goals. It's helped me perform and achieve better.
Because of the department I'm working in and the job that I do as a translator, I need to be able to understand that Latin culture, especially as an immigrant in this country. Having that ingrained in me and having lived that, I feel that has given me a way of connecting through my translations to those that read them.
Coming out here to New York City, I found a little community of Asian American friends, first and second generation. I started to realize this is something to be very proud of. There is a very overwhelming feeling of comfort in normalizing the fact that I'm different.
I think that's the only way that we can really grow as a people. is to really live in a diverse world that God has created. I think it's a great thing. I think it allows us to become and to see things that we haven't seen or become before. You know, it's a growing level. I think it's a maturity thing as well, because this helps me to love you the way who you are and not trying to make you to become like I am.